America after Donald Trump. What happens now? President Joe Biden was inaugurated Wednesday at noon as the United States of America moves forward with the incoming administration. There's a lot that can be said about where and who we are as a nation, and I'd like to share some of what I've been thinking on. It is very surreal and sobering that the president was sworn in 2 weeks to the day that the Capitol building was invaded by insurrectionists and rioters, which resulted in destruction and the loss of life. Additionally, today is the 1-year anniversary of the first case of COVID diagnosed in the U.S. An inauguration sandwiched between these two horrible moments gave us a transition of power that is different from any other in history. Going from the Trump administration to Biden's administration will bring very clear changes, both to how the president is received nationally and how Congress conducts their business. I believe that with Biden, there comes a return of decency and decorum when it comes to how he communicates and operates as president, and I'm very happy about this. There's no mistaking the toxic narcissism, contentiousness, and negativity that former President Trump displayed, and that truly had an impact on his relationships with Congress, the press, and those he disagreed and were opposed to him. There were many Christians who supported Trump, as well as many who opposed him, and the way that some of our faith leaders and influencers made excuses for their support of Trump, as well as the conspiratorial claims from them, has damaged the respect and support many have had for them. To name specific names, individuals like James White, Albert Mohler, Franklin Graham, others who falsely prophesied Trump's re-election like Marcus Rogers, and many more have caused real damage with their rhetoric, conspiracies, plus excuses, and have presented to the world a Christianity that lacks the Christ-centered voice of conscience that God designed his church to be in society. This Christ-centered voice that I believe God is calling us to also applies to the Biden and Harris administration we're now under today. We must be involved in the progress of the nation without being attached to the administration in the way that many Christians were to Trump. We saw many defend Trump, even when it contradicted Christ in every way. We are called to stand with Christ and his kingdom alone, while working with our leaders, and Biden has legislation that will not align with the values of Christ and his kingdom. We cannot force America to live as Christians, so we are called to live and proclaim the values of Christ ourselves, and not align with anything from the Biden administration that doesn't. This doesn't only apply to abortion and LGBT values that are celebrated and legislated. Psalms 146, verse 3 through 5. Put not your trust in princes, in a son of man in whom there is no salvation. Finally, I know that it will be difficult to move forward as believers together, especially because the wounds were dug so deep by professing believers and mistaken ones who pushed Trump so much. We've even lost others to the faith because his name became blasphemed in response to the ungodly alignments with Trump. Little to no denouncing of his toxic actions and rhetoric and much of his policies. Even now, there's still a lot of fear-mongering and conspiracy theorizing about the Biden administration and what will happen under it. Nevertheless, as 1 Corinthians 13 says, love always hopes. For those of us who have lost hope or it is severely broken, I pray that the hope of Christ is an anchor to your soul and that the joy of your salvation is renewed. We have a new president, yet the same issues before him are still here, along with new and present dangers. Let our hope and trust be in Christ and his kingdom, not in our own understanding and strength. What are your thoughts about the inauguration today and the days to come? Would love to hear from you.